We are amazed. And thus long have we stood to watch the fearful bending of thy knee, because we thought ourselves thy lawful king. And if we be, how dare thy joints forget to pay their awful duty to our presence? If we be not, show us the hand of God that hath dismissed us from our stewardship. For well we know no hand of blood and bone can gripe the sacred handle of our sceptre, unless he do profane, steal, or usurp. And though you think that all, as you have done, have torn their souls by turning them from us, and we are barren and bereft of friends, yet know, my Master, God omnipotent, is mustering in his clouds on our behalf armies of pestilence. And they shall strike the children yet unborn and unbegot, that lift your vassal hands against my head, and threat the glory of my precious crown. Tell Bolingbroke, for yon methinks he stands, that every stride he makes upon my land is dangerous treason. He is come to open the purple testament of bleeding war. But ere the crown he looks for live in peace, 10,000 bloody crowns of mothers' sons shall ill become the flower of England's face, change the complexion of a maid pale peace to scarlet indignation, and bedew her pastures grass with faithful English blood. The King of Heaven forbid our Lord the King should so with civil and uncivil arms be rushed upon. Thy thrice noble cousin Harry Bolingbroke doth humbly kiss thy hand, and by the honourable tomb he swears that stands upon your royal grandsire's bones, and by the royalties of both your bloods, currents that spring from one most gracious head, and by the buried hand of warlike Gaunt, and by the worth and honour of himself, comprising all that may be sworn or said, his coming hither hath no further scope than for his lineal royalties, and to beg enfranchisement immediate on his knees, which on thy royal party granted once, his glittering arms he will commend of rust, his barbed steeds to stables, and his heart to faithful service of your majesty. This swears he, as he is a prince, is just, and as I am a gentleman, I credit him. Northumberland, say thus the king returns. His noble cousin is right welcome hither, and all the number of his fair demands shall be accomplished without contradiction. With all the gracious utterance thou hast, speak to his gentle hearing kind commends. We do debase ourselves, cousin, do we not? We look so poorly and speak so fair. Shall we call back Northumberland and send defiance to the traitor and so die? No, my good lord, let's fight with gentle words, till time lend friends, and friends their helpful swords. O God, that airless tongue of mine that laid the sentence of dread banishment on yon proud man should take it off again with words of sooth. Oh, that I were as great as is my grief, or lesser than my name. Oh, that I could forget what I have been, or not remember what I must be now. Swell'st thou, proud heart, now give thee scope to beat, since foes have scope to beat both thee and me. Northumberland comes back from Bolingbroke. What must the king do now? Must he submit? The king shall do it. Must he be deposed? The king shall be contented. Must he lose the name of king? Oh, God's name, let it go. I'll give my jewels for a set of beads, my gorgeous palace for a hermitage, my gay apparel for an almond's gown, my figured goblets for a dish of wood, my sceptre for a palmer's walking staff, my subjects for a pair of covert saints, and my large kingdom for a little grave, a little grave, an obscure grave. or I'll be buried in the king's highway, some way of common trade, where subjects' feet may hourly trample on their sovereign's head. For on my heart they tread now whilst I live, and buried once, why not upon my head? O Merle, thou weeps, my tender-hearted cousin. We'll make foul weather with despised tears, our sighs, and they shall lodge the summer corn and make a dearth in this revolting land. Or shall we play the wantons with our woes, and make some pretty match with shedding tears, as thus to drop them still upon one place, till they have fretted us a pair of graves within the earth, and therein laid there lies two kinsmen dig their graves with weeping eyes. Would not this ill do well? Well, I see I talk but idly, and you laugh at me. Most mighty prince, my lord Northumberland, what says King Bolingbroke? Will his majesty give Richard leave to live till Richard die? You make a leg, and Bolingbroke says aye. My lord, in the base court he doth attend to speak with you. May it please you to come down. Down I come like glistering phaeton, wanting the manage of unruly jades. In the base court? Base court, where kings grow base to come at traitors' calls and do them grace? In the base court? Come down. Down, court. Down, king. For night owls shriek where mounting larks should sing. What says his majesty? Sorrow and grief of heart makes him speak fondly like a frantic man, yet he is come. Stand all apart, and show fair duty to his majesty. My gracious lord, fair cousin, you debase your princely knee to make the base earth proud with kissing it. Me rather had my heart feel your love than my unpleased eye see your courtesy. Up, cousin, up, your heart is up, I know, thus high at least, although your knee be low. My gracious lord, I come but for mine own. Your own is yours, and I am yours, and all. So far be mine, my most redoubted lord, as my true service shall deserve your love. Well you deserve, they well deserve to have that know the strong and surest way to get. Uncle, give me your hands. Nay, dry your eyes. Tears show their love, but want their remedies. Cousin, I am too young to be your father, though you are old enough to be my heir. What you will have I'll give, and willing too. For do we must what force will have us do. Set on towards London, cousin, is it so? Yea, my good lord. Then I must not say no. What sport shall we devise here in this garden, to drive away the heavy thought of care? Madam will play at bowls. 'Twill make me think the world is full of rubs, and that my fortune runs against the bias. Madam will dance. My legs can keep no measure in delight, when my poor heart no measure keeps in grief. Therefore no dancing, girl, some other sport. Madam will tell tales, of sorrow or of joy, of either, madam, of neither, girl. For if of joy being altogether wanting, it doth remember me the more of sorrow, or if of grief being altogether had, it adds more sorrow to my want of joy. For what I have I need not to repeat, and what I want it boots not to complain. Madam, I'll sing. 'Tis well that thou hast cause, but thou wouldst please me better, wouldst thou weep. I could weep, madam, would it do you good, and I could sing, would weeping do me good, and never borrow any tear of thee. But stay, Come, the gardeners, let's step into the shadow of these trees, my wretchedness unto a row of pins. They'll talk of state, for every one doth so against a change. Woe is forerun with woe. Go, bind thou up yon dangling apricots, which like unruly children make their sire stoop with oppression and their prodigal wight. Give some supportance to the bending twigs. Go thou, and like an executioner, cut off the heads of too fast-growing sprays, that look too lofty in our commonwealth. All must be even in our government. You thus employed, I will go root away the noisome weeds, which without profit suck the soil's fertility from wholesome flowers. Why should we in the compass of a pile keep law and form in due proportion, showing as in a model a firm estate, when our sea-walled garden, the whole land, is full of weeds, her fairest flowers choked up, her fruit trees all unpruned, her hedges ruined, knots disordered, and her wholesome herbs swarming with caterpillars? Hold thy peace. He that hath suffered this disordered spring hath now himself met with a fall of leaf. The weeds which his broad-spreading leaves did shelter, that seemed in eating him to hold him up, are plucked up, root and all, by Bolingbroke. I mean the Earl of Wiltshire, Bushy Green. What? Are they dead? They are. And Bolingbroke hath seized the wasteful king. Now what pity is it that he had not so trimmed and dressed his land as we this garden? We at time of year do wound the bark, the skin of our fruit trees, lest, being overproud in sap and blood, with too much riches it confound itself. Had he done so to great and growing men, they might have lived to bear, and he to taste their fruits of duty. To pelt through his branches we lop away, that bearing boughs may live. Had he done so, himself had borne the crown, which waste of idle hours hath quite thrown down. What? Think you then the king shall be deposed? Depressed he is already, and deposed 'tis doubt he will be. Letters came last night to a dear friend of the good Duke of York's, that tell black tidings. Oh, I am pressed to death through want of speaking. Thou, Adam's likeness, set to dress this garden, how dares thy harsh rude tongue sound this unpleasing news? What Eve, what serpent, hath suggested thee to make a second fall of cursed man? Why dost thou say King Richard is deposed? Darest thou, thou little better thing than earth, divine his downfall? Say, where, when, and how camest thou by this ill tidings? Speak, thou wretch. Pardon me, madam, little joy have I to breathe this news, yet what I say is true. King Richard, he is in the mighty hold of Bolingbroke. The fortunes both are wide. In your lord's scale is nothing but himself, and some few vanities that might come light. And in the balance of great Bolingbroke, besides himself, are all the English peers. And with that odds he weighs King Richard down. Post you to London, and you will find it so. I speak no more than every one doth know. Nimble mischance, thou art so light of foot. Doth not thy embassage belong to me? And am I, lass, that knows it? Oh, thou think'st to serve me, lass, that I may longst keep thy sorrow in my breast. Come, to meet at London London's king in woe. What, was I born to this, that my sad look should grace the triumph of great Bolingbroke? Pardon me for telling me these news of woe. Pray God the plants thou grafts may never grow. Poor queen, so that thy state might be no worse, I would my skill was subject to thy curse. Here did she fall a tear. Here in this place I'll set a bank of rue, sour herb of grace. Rue even for Ruth, ere shortly shall be seen, in the remembrance of a weeping queen.